lot of books have been written about pregnancy and childbirth, but really no one can tell you what your experience is going to be like. Many of your expectations may be based on myth and prejudice, and in this video we'd like to show you some of the different options that exist to enable you to make an informed choice. The National Childbirth Trust, or NCT, offers information and support in pregnancy, childbirth and early parenthood, and aims to enable every parent to make that informed choice. And whilst there'll be assistance from others in helping you prepare, midwives, doctors, partners, friends and of course family, there will be decisions that you should and will want to make for yourself. Now, the first programme aims to give you some of those choices and give you the opportunity to choose the best plan of action for your birth and perhaps help you to cope with the unexpected. We will ask you to look at your own beliefs and expectations and examine your feelings about the birth. Having a baby can be one of the most exciting times in your life. Not only are you creating a new life, but if it's your first child, believe me, it's a whole new way of life for you and your partner. You might find you have a whole range of emotions connected with the birth of your baby, ecstatic joy and excitement, or even shock and horror. And it's obviously better to go into the birth process aware and accepting these feelings, not anxious because of lack of knowledge.
I mean, you start from day one and it's unreal, you know, you don't feel any different. And for me, not being sick, you know, everyone's going, oh, have you been sick? Have you this? Are you off your food? Are you this? All these range of old wives' tales. No, none of that. I just felt fine. On day one, if you'd have asked me, are you scared of what's going to happen? I'd have said, yes, you know, I really want a child, but I don't really want to go through the process of giving birth. But by the time you get to 7 or 8 months, you're really keen to actually go through the process. So your whole hormones and everything have changed your perception of it.
Very frightening when I found out. It's almost, wow, isn't this wonderful? And then it's like the reality hits you. Can I cope? And where are my finances coming from? All the minor details that really become part and parcel of the big picture.
A changing attitude to childbirth means that more and more women will have a midwife rather than a doctor as the person primarily responsible for their care during pregnancy and childbirth. It's hoped this will ensure better continuity of care and provide the opportunity for women to get to know the person who will help them during the birth of their baby.
This programme may help you decide what, if anything, you could usefully do to prepare for your pregnancy, in other words, before conception. And there are things you could do, such as cutting out smoking or making sensible changes to your diet, which will give your baby a healthy start.
In a perfect world, you would have decided when to have a baby and stopped smoking and drinking long before you discover you were pregnant. Many people, however, find themselves pregnant unexpectedly or find they've done all the preparation and nothing happens. You may find it helpful to have a flexible attitude towards timing. Some people do all sorts of things unaware that they are pregnant and worry about it when they find out. It's unlikely there is any need to worry, but discussing things with your midwife or GP can be very helpful. How long you actually take in preparing for your pregnancy will depend on your own situation. You may currently be taking medication which you prefer to stop first, or you may have a health problem, or indeed any other aspect of your life or health which you'd like to sort out. And once you've decided when you'd ideally like to become pregnant, it's not a bad idea to talk these issues over with your GP.
Before you get pregnant, it may be worth thinking about how healthy your current diet is. Does it include a good variety of foods? Are you eating some foods rich in folic acid? This is a vitamin which studies have shown can help to prevent problems with the development of the baby's spine, such as spina bifida. It is in yeast extract, whole grain cereals, fruit and vegetables, particularly the dark green leafy types, such as spinach, broccoli and cabbage, as long as they're not boiled for too long. The Department of Health recommends that women planning a pregnancy take a supplement of 0.4 milligrams of folic acid from the time they start trying to conceive until the 12th week of pregnancy.
I actually made myself eat properly, so that was a change for me. I actually sat down and ate breakfast and lunch and supper and made sure I was eating reasonable quantities of fibre and protein, etc. Because I wasn't a particular regular eater before then.
It's worth remembering, though, that food is for enjoyment as well as nutrition. Changing to a healthier way of eating can be done gradually. It doesn't mean you have to stop eating any particular food, just eat a little less of some and more of others. Healthy eating should not cost more, especially if expensive processed foods are exchanged for fresh, natural ones.
A baby is conceived when a sperm from the male partner fuses with an egg from the female partner to form a single cell. This cell then begins to divide, eventually implanting itself in the lining of the uterus, or womb, to start a pregnancy. The egg and sperm carry all the genetic material necessary to make your baby the person she will become. Various pregnancy testing kits can be bought from most chemists, and most are pretty reliable. Some are effective only once the first period is late, but others can be used earlier. You may want to confirm the result with your GP or family planning clinic.
I tried the test and we weren't quite sure if the tests said I was pregnant or not. It was very misleading. So I went to the doctor, and the doctor actually confirmed after 2 weeks that I was pregnant.
When we discovered that I definitely was pregnant, I did go straight to the doctor just to confirm the home pregnancy test. And I was advised everything was fine and just to go off on holiday and enjoy it. After that, 6 weeks into the pregnancy, and then I went back to the GP. I think you have to go back about 8 or 12 weeks back, and then you start being registered for antenatal care.
Missing a period is the most obvious first sign of pregnancy, but there are others which you may or may not experience, such as tender, heavy breasts, which may also tingle a little. You may also find differences in your senses of smell and taste, and may need to empty your bladder more frequently. Some people find they're just very tired.
Yeah. Well, we'll just see how
And
I
something
feel
we
at the
naturally
time.
do anyway.
I quite enjoyed my pregnancy. I was a little sick for sort of a couple of weeks, but otherwise I was quite well, and I quite enjoyed all the sensations when the baby started to flutter and kick and bounce around and was very hyper.
I didn't have a very good first half of pregnancy. I was very sick. I had sort of not only morning sickness, but sort of any old time sickness really. So it does dampen your enthusiasm down a bit. And then after about 4 months, I was fine. It was good. Sort of regained a bit of energy and bounce, and enjoyed the second half of the pregnancy a lot more.